Hi, everyone. Happy Friday. Happy Passover. Happy almost Easter. Thank you for joining me this afternoon for another episode of Fix It Fridays. I am your host, David Vogel. I hope you had a great week. Thanks for joining me today. If you're out there, please post in the comments. Let me know you're out there, how you're feeling, what if you have any questions today, please post those in the chat. You can be following this on Facebook, of course, Facebook Live. You can also be following this on our YouTube channel. And hopefully, we're going to figure out what's going on with the issues with sharing it also on LinkedIn. So, you got three places where you can do that. Fix It Friday is created for you. I created this as a way to give back to entrepreneurs and small business owners to help them with their digital marketing, address any questions or concerns they're having with their lead generation, their sales pages, hi Beth, uh, and hi Anuka. Thanks for joining me here today. Um, Again, this is here to help you with any of your video marketing or your sales pages, your ads, digital ads. So that's what this is here for. It's also for me to practice being live, doing live video on Facebook. So certainly give me comments and criticisms, anything you can do to help me be better at this. I'm also open to that as well. And just, I usually tell this at the end, but I want to tell this at the beginning. If you have an ad campaign, you have a sales page, you have a video that's not working out for you, you want some feedback, how you can make it better, please reach out to me either email or through Messenger and let me know, and we'll connect. And I'm happy to review that for you and not only help you, but help those who are also following Fix It Fridays. So, with that, let's jump in. Just as a reminder, let me just go to our slides here. Topics that we can cover here that I can really best service you with is video marketing, social media marketing, pay-per-click advertising, sales funnels, and marketing automation, leveraging AI to streamline your business. So today, we're going to be talking about 7 steps to eliminate digital marketing overwhelm. There's a lot of business owners out there being bombarded with different ideas on different digital marketing strategies, whether it's podcasts or guest blogging or connecting with influencers or email marketing, social media sharing. The list goes on and on. Video blogging. There's a lot being thrown out there, but there's only so much time in the day. How do you decide where's the best place to put your efforts? So hopefully today I can help streamline that for you and simplify that for you a little bit. I'm going to go through kind of these seven ideas, and then I'm going to go through 3 examples that I came with. If we have time, we'll go through that. But this picture here should give you a good sense of, and this is even just a small sampling of some of the different things that are available to you out there in the market today. So let me get out. Oh, it's not up on my screen. Hold on a second, everybody. Let me get my little Wacom pen going on here. So what you should look at here is there's really 3 sections to digital marketing. You have branding, you have engagement, and you have acquisition. And we're going to kind of come back to this in a minute, but you can be doing things in all these different sectors as it relates to your business. And you want to really kind of break this down and simplify it for yourself before you start going, okay, I'm going to be doing video blogs on LinkedIn. You want to take a step back and you want to be strategic with this. Don't just do something just to do it. It all starts with strategy. So, when we look at this, you can obviously do outdoor advertising. I've tried that. It was a complete train wreck. Didn't get one lead from that. I'm not the biggest fan, but for certain brands, again, if you're going for branding, the big brands, this makes sense. Paid social is available for everyone. YouTube, as a video marketer, I'm obviously a big fan of using YouTube, having a YouTube channel, getting subscribers, using that as your video hosting platform, leveraging it for video SEO. Earn social, right? That's sharing posts. A lot of you are great at sharing posts on social media. That's great when you have a following on social media, or you just even kind of just get that going so that when you do have a following, you have content there. CRM, being able to track your leads and in the pipeline. That's really important. That's a kind of a form of engagement, but that's really kind of plays into this. The email marketing, paid search is important. Google, you can do this in other places. Organic search, that's SEO, optimizing your website, optimizing your content. If you're doing content marketing, the search component of that is important. Remarketing, for those of you who don't know what remarketing is when you do something online and then suddenly wherever you go, you're seeing either that brand or you're getting message about that product. So you start looking for a flat screen TV, and no matter where you go, you're getting pushed content around flat screen TVs. Mobile is super important. I want you all to make sure you're getting cell phone numbers. Mobile and SMS marketing is really where you want to be focusing your energy today. I guess I'm giving a bit of a plug there because email is oversaturated, the web is oversaturated, or even some of the social media platforms. But text messaging, especially if you get that from a prospect or a customer, you know that if you push anything out to that text number, you do an SMS, 98% of the people are going to open that and open it within 5 minutes. So don't forget about mobile and make sure you capture those cell phone numbers. Okay, let's continue here. So how do you decide? I just show you even just a small sampling of what's out there. There's TikTok, there's all these different crazy platforms out there. There's Clubhouse now. I'm looking into that as well. So you got to start with some basics here, which is, who's your audience? Who are you talking to? Who do you want to talk to, or who are you talking to? And as you see here on the page, are you talking to, cold traffic? Are you talking to, people at the top of the funnel, leads? How you talk to someone who doesn't know you, who doesn't trust you, is very different than you talk to a customer, right? And then you have prospects, someone who you vetted as a lead, there's a good fit. Well, how are you nurturing that prospect and turning them into a customer? You also, for those of you who are big on social media, you have followers. You have people following you on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube. How you speak to them is different. Who are the people that are there? You might have different kinds of audiences at every level of this. And then kind of the holy grail of those brand ambassadors, those people who love you and sing your praise from the top of mountains. Those are important people, and how you speak to them is very different than how you speak to any of these others. So where are these people? What is their relationship to you as it relates to your business? Let's go one step further. So now that you've understood where they are in your process, you want to understand, well, what it really is the makeup of what is your avatar? Who is your customer? Things to look at here, of course, are some of the obvious ones, gender, male, female, is it both? And whenever you're doing also any of your marketing, specifically digital marketing, Facebook advertising, YouTube, Instagram, I personally, and I've heard this from others, how you speak to a man is different than how you speak to a woman, and what their issues and concerns are might be different. So I always break out my campaigns specifically. Now you might not do this with email marketing or blogging, but when you have an opportunity to kind of segment your list, gender is an important thing to understand in terms of your audience. So, are you speaking to both genders? What is the age group that you're speaking to? Their demographics. Are you a local business? Are you only targeting people within a 10-mile radius of your business, or are you targeting a certain type of individual across the country? Maybe you have more of a virtual business. What are their preferences, interests, likes? Understanding who they are is going to help you with your marketing and where you want to go with your messaging. And then, and I'm going to kind of come back to this point, what is their pain? What is the opportunity that they're looking for? I'm going to talk about this in another slide, but really understanding kind of where they are in their journey is important as well when you're thinking about your audience. Any questions out there? If you have questions, post them in the chat. Also, just kind of let me know you're out there. We're going to keep going. If you have any questions, let me know. But let's keep going with this, and we'll field questions as they come up. So, super important, not only understanding your audience when you're thinking about what kind of digital marketing you're going to do, you have to know what your goal is. What do you want at the end of the day? You saw in this chart I shared with you early on, branding, engagement, acquisition, right? We're talking about that here. Where are you speaking to these people from what point? What strategy are you trying to do? So if you're looking at this from a branding standpoint, which most small businesses don't have the pockets, don't have the money to really do branding plays, you really are looking, most businesses they're just looking for customers. So, but you can't, just like you wouldn't ask a girl to marry you on a first date, you can't expect that someone's going to spend $1,000 on a product or service if they don't know, like, and trust you, right? So you have to have that engagement, right? You have to be engaging with them somewhere in some way, whether it's email, whether it's on social, whether it's sharing content, having a phone call, right? So you can't just go right for the acquisition in your strategy. So what is it that you want to have? And not only what is it that you want here, branding, engagement, or acquisition, what is the end game here? What do you want to have happen? You want to work from the end backwards. So you might be saying to yourself, look, I want to use digital marketing to, I want to have a huge following on YouTube. I want to be creating content on YouTube. So my goal is to get 100 subscribers in the next 30 days. So now that you understand what your goal is, you can work backwards from that. Well, how am I going to do that? Right? So think about, what is it, the goal that you want? Maybe it's you want to have 10, Zoom calls with prospective clients. Okay, well, work it back from there. Maybe it's just, listen, I want 10 people to download my PDF from my website. These are all different goals, and based on that goal, you're going to take a completely different approach. I hope that makes sense for everybody. Let's keep going. So I talked about this a little bit early on, but this kind of plays into what I showed in this slide here about branding, engagement, acquisition. This is another way of looking at it. This is intentionally drawn different lengths here because, that's a horrible drawing. This is a funnel, right? People buy at the bottom of your funnel, but at the very beginning, they don't really know you. So you want to create awareness of who you are and what you do and what your product and service is, what value you can give. And then, there's going to come to the consideration phase, which is, okay, now that they know what you do and maybe what value it is it right for them? Does it fit for them? Is the product or service gonna work for them? And then, of course, at the bottom is going to be the purchase. And when you're talking to somebody here at awareness phase, just like I was sharing about, being on a first date and proposing, you're not going to go, maybe don't go, if you go too far, you might scare that prospect or potential client away. So this is really, awareness is where you're trying to make people just aware of your brand and your products and services, and then you want to start working down this direction with your content and your messaging, right? And it doesn't matter if this applies whether you're doing email marketing, whether you're doing direct mail. This is not specific to, let's say Google ads or anything. These are all kind of fundamental concepts. So really important to understand. Okay. How are we doing on time? We're looking good. Let's keep going. Okay. Now, with the overwhelm that business have, I don't have any videos. Now I got to make videos, or I don't have any, case studies. I got to now go make some case studies. I really encourage you, when you're looking at this, look at what you're starting from. What do you have? And this both has to do with tangibles as well as where is your presence? What do you have? So, for instance, if you don't have a list, well, then email marketing is really not going to be the strategy for you right now. The first step would be building that list. And to build that list might be, okay, I need to be putting content out there and get people to subscribe to my newsletter, or maybe I'll have to do some digital advertising to get out there to get people to build that list. I mean, this is really kind of the holy grail in that you want to be building your list. You don't want to be dependent on Facebook. You don't want to be dependent on LinkedIn because those platforms go away, you've just lost your connectivity to your people. So at the end of the day, you want people's names, email addresses, and as I shared before, their cell phone numbers so you can control your message. And if you need to send something out right away, you can do that. Okay. Uh, do you have a social media following? So if your plan is, oh, I'm going to be posting on Facebook, and that's great. You have 10 followers on Facebook. Not a lot of people are going to see that. So in that case, you're going to need to be building up your following on Facebook before you're taking a Facebook approach. Now, if you don't have people and you want to use Facebook, well, that's where Facebook advertising comes into play. So you want to look at where, and if you have, let's say you have a Facebook presence, you have an Instagram presence, you have a YouTube presence, depending on what that goal is and where the people are, what kind of message you want to communicate and what you want to have happen is going to determine maybe which one of those platforms you might want to be using. If you have a huge following on Instagram, that's where your people are, then why are you posting on YouTube? You want to be posting that video in your story on Instagram, right? I talked about cell phone numbers. You can't be doing an SMS marketing campaign if you don't have people's cell phone numbers. So if you know that's the direction you want to go and you don't have those cell phone numbers, well, guess what? You need to come up with a strategy. Your first strategy is, how am I going to get people to give me their cell phone numbers? And then make that your campaign and then move to the other. And then, if you're trying to, one of the things in that awareness or consideration phase is I always believe in delivering value before the sale. So if you have case studies or you have any video content or you have photos or infographics, those are great things to share in that awareness phase. Um, and if you have those things, like, don't start from scratch with all this stuff. If you have some asset already that you already made and it takes just a little bit of effort to turn that into something that you can use as part of a digital marketing campaign, the goal is to get this out as quickly as possible. Don't get caught up in building this out over weeks or months. You want to be able to, I'm a big fan of failing fast. So try something as quickly as possible so you're not investing a lot of time in this. And then, I'm going to get to some other things about that are really important once you start doing this. So look at what you have to start from and play from your strengths there. Let's see, any questions out there? Beth asks, should there be a CTA, which is a call to action at the awareness phase of the funnel, or should one wait? So, great question, Beth. Here's the thing. You should have a call to action every time you put a piece of content out there, because if you don't tell your audience what you want them to do, they won't do it. So if you create a great video and you share it and you want people to become subscribers to your YouTube channel, well, if you don't tell them in the video, hey, by the way, if you like this video and you want more of this, subscribe. Here's the link. Click here. Tell them where to point to it, click to it, make it easy. Whatever you can do to make it easy for people is the key. So always a call to action whenever you're doing anything. It could be an email, a share on social, just by asking a question on social. If you're going to do a post on social, yeah, it's nice for people to see it, but the whole idea of social is to engagement, right? Getting them to, so, Beth, well, I know this, but maybe everyone who's watching doesn't, but Beth has a yoga studio. So a great question for engagement. Maybe you make a video and you ask, what is your favorite pose? Or what pose do you struggle with? Allow that piece of content to create a conversation, especially if you're doing it on social. Uh, Thanks, Anuka. I appreciate that. Anuka says, it's like business school here for me. I love it. I love it. Thanks. Okay, so let's continue. So we talked about assets. Let's go to The sixth one. Uh, so this is really important, and it kind of plays hand in hand with what I shared, which is play to your strengths. So if you have, an expert out there, a digital marketing expert, or anyone out in the marketing space saying, "Oh, you got to have a huge YouTube presence. You have to have a YouTube channel, and you need to be video blogging." Well, guess what? If you don't like being in front of the camera, well, you're probably not going to be so excited about doing that. Now, as entrepreneurs, we kind of have to face our fears. I didn't like being in front of the camera, and certainly I didn't want to be in front of a camera live. I mean, here I am staring at a camera, in my office with no feedback. It's not a normal thing to do. So if you're on board with facing your fears, then by all means, okay, face that and go for it. But you want to play to your strengths. So, I shared, what content do you have? So if you have case studies, or you have videos, or you have, PDFs, or, any kind of valued content, great. Use that. If you like writing, if that's and you're really good at it, it's really easy and it doesn't take you long to write a blog post or an email, play to your strength. That's not my strength. If you enjoy being in front of the camera, you can do what I'm doing right now and make video messages that you share through texting. That goes back to the SMS marketing. You can do video blogs. You can, the list is endless there with video. You can do video trainings and webinars and so forth. Do you like speaking in public? If you're comfortable talking, then you want to maybe do a webinar, or you want to do a video blogging, or you want to do podcasts, right? Uh, and if you're comfortable with new technology, that plays into maybe email marketing with some things like, Active Campaign, or if you're building sales funnels and you're willing to invest in things like ClickFunnels. But if someone is saying, hey, oh, Russell Bronson is saying, build a sales funnel and use ClickFunnels to do that, it's super easy. Well, if technology isn't your thing and you're trying to do this yourself, now obviously I'm talking about a lot of DIY here. If you're going to do it yourself, you want to play to your strengths. So, do that first. Once you've kind of built that funnel and you've got customers coming in, you want to expand and learn new things, great. But right out of the gates, do something that's going to be that easy, quick win. All right. Hope that was helpful. Let's move on to the last one. All right. This kind of plays into what Beth was asking before with CTAs, or call to actions. What action do you want them to take? Don't ever put a piece of content out there without some sort of ask. Like my Facebook page, or follow me on Instagram, or subscribe to my newsletter, or whatever that may be. Oh, I don't think you guys care about my lunch here. Let's get rid of that. Okay. So think about what you want them to do. Do you want them to, for instance, subscribe to your newsletter, or download a piece of content to build that trust, or to follow you on a particular social media platform? Maybe they're following you on Facebook, but you really want people on Instagram, right? Hey, maybe it's as simple as just getting them to pick up the phone and call you, right? Or, of course, the holy grail, you want them to buy your product or service, okay? So I know this was kind of fundamentals here. We wanted to. Thanks, Beth. So this is kind of very much contextual, if you would. This is kind of concepts, but let's put this in the real world. So I'm going to give you 3 real life examples, so you can kind of wrap your head around this. Oh, actually, what else do I have here? Oh, so some last kind of concept things here. So remember, and this is universal for whatever you're doing, your prospects or your followers, or whoever your audience is, they only care about 2 things. They have a problem that they have, right? They have a problem and they don't want it. So if you can solve that problem, that's something that's going to interest them. And if there's a solution that they want but don't have, that it gets as simple as that. That's really at the root of all this. So just remember those 2 points whenever you're creating content, video, email, your marketing, doing pay-per-click advertising, whatever it is. These are the only 2 things that matter to them. So if you're not addressing 1 or 2 of these, so you only can address 1 of these, but if you're not addressing either one of these, you need to go back to the drawing board. Now, the other thing is when creating content, you want to follow this kind of workflow. You got to get someone's attention. There's a lot of noise in the digital space. There's lots of websites, there's lots of social media platforms, there's lots of pages, there's lots of emails, there's just a lot of distractions. So, very important right from the start, you got to get someone's attention. You could be the greatest business, have the greatest offer. If they don't see what you're offering, it really doesn't matter. So, getting someone's attention and interest right away is super important. And the faster you can do that, the better. Um, then what people are going to know is, can I trust you? Okay, you got my attention. Who the hell are you? And why should I be listening to you? What do you have that I should be paying attention to? Okay. So, and then the last is what you are recommending, is that a good fit for me? So if you've got a great pitch to someone, but it's not something they need, they're not going to buy from you. So you want to kind of work through those 3 steps. So I know I went through that kind of quick. Hopefully that made sense. I just want to try to quickly go through these examples with our remaining few minutes. So let's go to example number 1. All right, Beth, this one's for you. Yoga studio is looking to get new registrants to their wellness yoga classes. I put up the chart here on the left again, and I'm going to make some assumptions. Maybe this is your yoga studio, maybe it's another yoga studio, but they have not a big email list. They haven't built a lot of following yet. They don't have a lot of traffic going to their website. They got a lot of video content. That's a plus, okay? And let's say they enjoy being in front of the camera. So what might a business like this do if this is kind of the reality in their world? So let's go here. So kind of work with me here. Now, I put some things here right at the top that I just want to recommend to everyone. I think, Beth, specifically as relates to your business, you only have 1 review on Google, and I think you have 1 Facebook reviews. And when building a brand, building that trust as quickly as possible is super important. So as quickly as you can, get your clients to be giving you Google and Facebook reviews. It adds to your credibility in the marketplace. And then if you want to go for bonus points, the video testimonial, that's the king. So if you can get your clients sharing video testimonials, it plays into your video space. But let's kind of come back to the facts I shared before. So when you're starting out and you don't want to spend a lot of money on digital marketing and you want to do it DIY, do it yourself, creating a referral program with those people that you already do have as customers to get the word out. And you can do that through email, you can do that through social, you can do that through SMS. There's a lot of different ways, but this is a great way for every business to start is once you get a customer, use them both to get you a testimonial and reviews, but also ask them, hey, who else do you think you know that would like this? Who can I share this with? A great also entry point, and I didn't see this on, we'll talk about Beth Bierko's yoga specifically here, is when trying to attract people to a brand and you have a lot of video content of your yoga exercises, great thing is give people a free week trial. Give them access for a week or let them register for free. I think it's great to deliver value before the sale. You've got video content, get them in there, get them loving the product, and then upsell them at that point. I just talked about delivering value before the sale. You and Scott are great in video. Play to your strength, right? Create more video content and share that in your Facebook newsfeed. I know you're doing that already. Do more of that. Video blogging would be great, just educating people on yoga, maybe people who don't know about yoga, depending on where you want to go and remember who your audience is. There might be an educational component necessary to this. So video blogging could be a great thing here. And I know you're great in front of the camera as well as Scott, so certainly consider that. And then if you want to invest money and you want to expand your reach, leveraging video and Facebook and YouTube are a huge opportunity that could pay huge dividends. So hopefully that was helpful for you. Hey, Jay, good seeing you. Thanks for joining today. Let's go to another example. Here's another business. So this example, new Medi Spa, and they're looking to get men and women to use their laser hair removal services. So How do you, so here are kind of the facts here. And this is a real life example. They had basically no website. They built a new website, had no social media presence, had no email list to speak of. They had basically, as I say here, no existing customers. So is blogging going to really be a good strategy for this business? No. Is email marketing going to be a really good strategy? No. So play to your strengths and what's going to provide results as quickly as possible because then you can reinvest. So here's what that looks like. So as she started bringing in customers into the business, and let me get rid of that. Again, that referral program is huge. Getting customers to refer you, incentivizing them. One of the things we did with this client of mine is we created a referral coupon. Hey, give this $50 or $100 coupon to a friend, and when you do that, they save money, and we'll also, give you 25 or $50 towards your next treatment, right? Use your happy customers are the ones that are going to refer you business. So incentivize them and create referral programs with your customers. Google reviews and Facebook reviews, huge. So when she was new in the space, there are a lot of other laser hair removal salons out there in the marketplace. People are looking at reviews. So make sure you're getting those Google and Facebook reviews because people are going to want to know that they're not the first ones going out there, right? So play to that. Video testimonials, huge. Getting people, again, I talk about written reviews are great, but video reviews are even better. I actually I'm a client of hers. I got, we won't go there, but anyway, I did a video testimonial for her. Partnerships. She's in a hair salon. So her space is inside of another space. So creating those partnerships. So look at your business. Who can you partner with that can also be a win-win situation that they get referral fees or however that's a win for their customers. And now you get new customers that way. Now, from the paid side, one thing we did, and one thing that's really cool about Groupon is it doesn't cost you anything unless there's now obviously you're making really 25 cents on the dollar because you have to discount typically 50% and then you split the revenue. It's a revenue share with Groupon. But the great thing there is we found, and I found this before, is that people found her on Groupon, then called her and then booked her directly through her salon. So just because you're advertising on Groupon, it doesn't cost you anything. You actually might get customers and not have to, give up all of that revenue on the opportunity. And one thing we're doing is we're hitting it hard with paid advertising. So we're advertising on Google, Facebook, and YouTube. And this is a great way to expand your reach and and drive customers to your business because everyone's on social. People are on they're on their smartphones. So you want to reach them where they are, which is on Facebook, is on YouTube, is on Google, doing Google searches. So those are really strong. If you have the budget, that is a great way to scale quickly. There's a question here with regards to video reviews. Where should those be used? Anywhere and everywhere. So actually, Beth actually asked Google, and it's amazing. This has happened, something that happened in the last year. So everyone take note of this. You can put video reviews on your Google My Business. Before, it used to be just still images. So make sure if you do get a Google review, put it everywhere. And I'm going to take that one step further, which is share it natively, which means you're most likely going to upload it to YouTube. But don't just upload it to YouTube. You're going to want to upload it directly to your Facebook. You're going to want to upload it directly to you could directly upload it into Instagram. You want to directly upload it into LinkedIn if that's appropriate for your business, like Jay, that would be great for you. And literally anywhere and everywhere. And then of course Google. So there is no place that you shouldn't do it. It's a win no matter where you put it. I would just put it literally everywhere. All right, let's look at, I have one last example if you guys want to hang with me for a couple more minutes. I know we're going a little bit over, but here's another example. This business has been around, it's actually 13 years, not 16 years, elder care agency, and most of their business comes from referral partners, but they want to get clients directly from the clients themselves as opposed to being referred by another agency or facility. So what do we have going on here? What is the reality of their situation? They've been in business for 16 years. They have a well-established website. They have huge reputation in the industry. They're already getting leads from their website, and they already have an email list. So they got a lot of things playing to their favor because they've been in business for a long time, and not everyone has been in business for a long time. So what is the strategy here? Now, one of the things I would say in her particular case is search engine optimization. Now, why do I say search? She's already getting traffic to her website organically that are turning into business, and she's never done SEO. Just imagine what would happen if she just did a little bit of an investment in search engine optimization and optimized her pages and even optimized her content. So content marketing with an SEO play would be huge for her business. It's on the to-do list. So content marketing, creating content to put on that website to also is a great SEO play for Google specifically. So uh, video blogging was something that we actually did. We wanted to show her as an expert in her field. Actually, Jay, who's on this call today, he's done a lot of video blogging, and I think that's a great strategy to just share your information with people, build that trust, show that you're a thought leader and expert in your space, and people will just naturally gravitate to that content. And if SEO is built around that, you're going to get more organic traffic, and you can even leverage it for paid traffic as well. So we actually tied the video blogging to our email list. We wanted to use her email list to get people to really understand what is the value, what is her strength, what makes her different in the marketplace. And I think that's a great thing. So again, this is delivering value before the sale. You want to build that trust, getting people to see you, right, as that expert in the field. Um, I think let's see. Oh, so I have some one last slide to share with you. I hope that hopefully that made sense, and hopefully that was helpful to give you some real world examples to understand how this all relates to things. I see some more questions from Beth. I'm going to come to that in just a second. So let me just go over these big mistakes that I see people making that I think are going to help you with your digital marketing. So number one, whatever strategy you decide, if it's email marketing, if it's video blogging, if it's social media posts, be consistent. Choose something and give it a chance. Stay consistent with it. Do it regularly. Like for instance, I'm doing these Facebook Lives every 2 weeks. Whether there's one person on it or 100 people on it, I'm working the muscle. I'm getting people familiar with the brand and building that out. Uh, try to do things. Try to do things on their own? Why did I say this? Try to do things on their own. I don't even remember what I was saying here. Oh my goodness. I don't know what that was about. We'll have to come back to that one. So I know what it was. They try to do things on their own. They do the DIY method. They don't have really the skill set for success. And so I've seen businesses, I'm going to do Facebook advertising. Well, it's really easy to make a Facebook ad. It's really hard to make a Facebook ad that drives sales and generates a revenue. So be careful when you try to do things yourself. If you don't know what you're doing, you're wasting your time and you're wasting your money. So try to play to where you feel comfortable and you're going to have success. Otherwise, get a consultant or find some way to do it right. The other issue that I see with this is a big one is people do stuff and they don't test and measure. They don't even look at the data. The beautiful thing about digital marketing, everyone, is that you have data. This is not like direct mail. This is not like sending out a flyer or radio. There's some data points and even TV, but you really don't have the data that you have with digital marketing. When you're sending emails, you know what your open rate is. You know what your click through rate is. If you're doing digital advertising, you know how many impressions you're getting. You know what your click through rate is. You can look at your landing page and see how many people are going there. You can see how many opt ins you're getting. You've got to be looking at this data and be making little tweaks and course corrections because I promise you, no matter what strategy you take, it's not going to be perfect out of the box. You've got to look at the data and continually tweak it. Okay. So we talked about data. A/B testing is huge, and you don't ask for feedback. So here's another thing. If you get a customer through some sort of digital marketing strategy, whether it's email marketing, it's blogging, it's SEO, it's whatever. Find out, get feedback from these customers. Hey, why did you choose to work with us? Why did you respond to that ad? What was it about that email that got you to pick up the phone? Get those pieces, additional pieces of data that are going to help you have greater success. And another one, and we talked about this with Beth earlier, is people are not putting a call to action. Uh-oh, what happened to my camera? Where's my camera? Oh, sorry, guys. Hold on. Here we go. Sorry. Sorry about that. That's on me. That's on me. Let's go back here. All right, there I am. So let's go to some quick questions that we have here, and then we'll wrap this up. Again, I apologize for going a little bit longer today. Hopefully this was of value. I covered a lot of different things here. Hopefully those examples that I gave you a context for how you take these 7 steps and apply them in the real world. So what do we have is some questions here today. Okay, so Beth, we already addressed the video reviews. I guess we have one last question. Is YouTube a better place for video blogs than Vimeo? So it really depends, and this goes back to your goal and your strategy. So if you want to get what I call video SEO, basically getting search engine optimization around your video, then YouTube is going to be the answer. If you really want something clean and you don't want YouTube to be showing recommended videos in your website on top of your video and maybe showing a competitor's yoga video, let's say, then you're probably not gonna want to have that video embedded in your website from YouTube, but have it embedded in your website from Vimeo. So me personally, when I for any of my websites, I use videos I embed videos from Vimeo on my website, and I use YouTube for SEO. So I'm actually uploading my videos to both for different reasons. But the videos on my website, I tend to use Vimeo so I don't get YouTube kind of pushing other people's content on my website. I'm not a real big fan of that. So hopefully that makes sense. So I believe in a combination of both those platforms. And people who don't know Vimeo, Vimeo is another free platform for the most part. I have a paid Vimeo account, but it's a platform that allows you also to host videos, and they won't recommend videos. So hopefully that made sense and that was clear to everyone. Okay, great. So that concludes today's call. If you have any other questions, you can certainly always reach out to me. Again, I hope you found this helpful. Please subscribe to here's my call to action, everybody. Please, like my Facebook page so you get notifications when I go live. You get my content. And what else? Make sure you come to the next episode, which is going to be in 2 weeks. And if you have a campaign, doesn't matter what it is, a video, a email marketing campaign, a landing page, a sales funnel, and you want some coaching, you want us to break it down on one of these calls, reach out to me. I'm happy to review that for you. Everyone, have a great Easter this weekend. For those of you having celebrating Passover, happy Pesach. Have a great weekend. Have a great Friday. Thanks again for joining me, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Take care, everybody.